Okay, Dr. Manu, thank you very much for taking the time. I will just start with a couple of questions. First and foremost, as someone who is known, globally as an industrialist, as a philanthropist, someone who has accomplished so much in your life, you've made it a mission of yourself to put service above self, and that leads us to the conversation regarding Rotary. Just a little bit about your history with Rotary. When did you become a Rotarian and why?
Well, there are a number of organizations in the country, like say Rotary is one of them, Lion is another, then Giants, and then there are other Kiwanis and whatnot. And my eldest brother was a Rotarian in Mombasa. And at that time, in Kenya, Rotary Club to join in Nairobi was impossible. There was upside, and they would not take anybody, either brown or a black. So the Mombasa people decided to open up a Rotary Club independently. And so when he was a member, he kept on asking me that this is a club I've joined to serve the people. And then one day he asked me that, why don't I become a Rotarian also? So I said yes. And at that time there was to be a junior member. So I joined as a junior member. And I liked it because the point is that all that they were doing in Rotary is to serve others. And in serving, that both two types of service that we see people do. One is putting their heart into service and really not looking after the results, but to serve and bring the happiness or lessen the pain. So I liked the ideology, and he was a good Rotarian, and so I became also a Rotarian. And not only that, but after that, my elder brother, who used to live in Ethiopia then, also became a Rotarian. Well, my cousin also became a Rotarian. So within the family, there were about 4 or 5 Rotarians. The purpose of Rotary was just to serve. And I joined in 1963
Wow.
as a junior member in Mombasa. And after that, I was asked to go to Kampala and stay there for about 3 years or so, or 4 years. And I went over there with my wife and my young baby. She was about 2 years old. And again, being a Rotarian, it was easy to join a Rotary Club. And it automatically opened up this cream of the society who have been Rotarians, but cream of the society who has interest in serving. Not that everybody, all the Rotarians serve. Some only want to be there because it's a great name to carry. But some also has got an idea that, look, this is a good avenue I can serve. And so I joined Rotary Club over there. I came back to Mombasa again rejoined the Rotary again there. And then in 66, they asked me to go to Tanzania. And I was there for 4 years. So I went to Tanzania, again joined the Rotary Club over there. It was all possible. Once you're a Rotarian, they will accept. But I was not very sure that they will accept it in Kenya at that time. But when I came back, then I joined the Rotary Club of Nairobi again. And I think that it's a medium which allows you to serve. It also allows you to meet people and increase whatever your either businesses or your connections. But for me, it was not that. I had my own standard. I had my status. So to me, it was a service organization. And I'm glad that I joined, which shaped my thinking. But before that, I think before becoming a Rotarian, the I was in Mumbai studying in the university. This was 1944 to 48. And that's the time when Mahatma Gandhi was pushing for Quit India movement for the British rule. And I got really attracted. And I thought that this man, a graduate, as a successful lawyer, all of a sudden decided that he wanted to become and serve people. And that really amazed me, that how people change their thinking and try to be more vocal, more supportive, more interested, and trying to help others besides themselves. So we were very much involved with Gandhian philosophy, Gandhian principle. So it helped all the way through that, yes, that you are in a better position. You have much better means. You have a much better, well, you're educated, you're intelligent, and you have capacity. So how about using, besides your own growth, of holding the hands of people who cannot get anybody to hold them? And so I think the Rotary gave me a chance, and a philosophy which I always liked it. Then I became chairman, president of the Rotary Club over here, and did number of good during my time. I did various programs. So Rotary is an avenue to serve, and I wanted not to be a lunch member. I wanted to serve and enjoy the people who are there, enjoy their company, enjoy their connections. But besides everything, the principle behind the Rotary was to serve. And I kept in her. Today, even we have in our club, and you find about 20-30%, they're there because they want to have connections, they want to meet people. But as far as the service is concerned, it's not in their mind even. It's just beyond it. But over a period of time, once you join the membership, you get into the committees, and the committee are doing some projects, so you get involved in it. Yeah.
You mentioned something there, Dr. Manu, about it shaped your way of thinking. We're talking back in 1963 when you joined Rotary, because you're known as a philanthropist. You are someone who, yes, you've made your success, be it financially, be it in terms of wealth, but you are known as someone who does give back. Do you think Rotary played a big role in that mindset?
It played a big role, but my getting into this was something when I came back from United States. My family had a lot of wealth, but we had lost all of it. And because our parents were involved in speculation in India. And basically what we built over here, and in Kenya, Uganda, Tanganyika, was to a joint partnership between the three families. And in that, the two families were very much involved in speculation. And when you speculate, it's, you put your life and your money, you don't know whether it will come. It might come and might not come. It might come with twice. It might come with 3 times, and you lose everything. And as such, we lost almost all our wealth, because all our wealth over here, whenever we wanted to pay back in the market, we had to call for the money from here, and slowly, instead of majority shareholders, we became a minority shareholders. So when we came back, then the minority shareholder became now the majority shareholder. I decided that he would like to break the company. And so we were left out with a small company, 40 people, Kalu Works Limited, and one wholesale provision business, Premchand Brothers on Biashara Street. And so there was nothing else but, and we came down from the United States, hoping that we will be okay, everything is going to be well. And 36 members at home. So it shaped us. But before doing all this, while in the United States, one of the challenges of going to the United States was that when we touched New York, it was a boat ride from London. When we touched New York, it changed our total thinking because we couldn't see like this. We had to see like this.
Looking up, yeah.
Looking up, and I couldn't believe it. I said, hey, these people might not be as brown as me, but they're black and they're whites. But look at that. We had been to London. London was okay. But here, you see 100 stories of Empire State Building. And it really shocked and challenged. He said, hey, they are no different than us. What's wrong with us? How come in Kenya we had only 2 buildings or 3 buildings which are 2 stories or 3 stories? And look at this. From Nairobi to London. From London, in a week's time, to New York. And it really challenged me to an extent that these are human beings. They're no different than us. So there must be something what they're doing which is right. And there's something which we are doing which are not right. So the education and seeing Ford and seeing Rockefeller, their huge buildings and their huge works, and studying them, that how they created from nothing. They were also nothing to start with. And how they created and used the money, both for their own living, but giving more employment and doing some outstanding work which the world recognizes today, one of the best work that they've done. So this was in our head for 3.5 years when we lived in America. So when we came back over here, we found that it was 40 people, 36 people at home, and 6 members of the family on the top of the 40 to work at the plant. But the minute we became 100 people, we went, all the 4 of us, younger people of the family, went to our parents and said, Papa, let us set up Chandaria Foundation. He looked at it, and I was a spokesman. He looked at me, he said, something wrong with you? I said, what's wrong with me? He said, you have stayed too long in the United States. I said, Papa, I lived 3 years in the United States. But he said, we are not Rockefeller. We are not Ford. What are you doing? Please. It's not possible for us. It's not possible for us. You just get to work, man. You've got 36 people at home.
Right.
A big hole over here. I said, look, Papa, the good ideas only come when we don't have the wealth. When we have the wealth, we'll never get the idea to serve others. So all we are trying to say is that let's set up Chandaria Foundation. Let the family start understanding that there is a responsibility to the society. Setting up our own company is setting up responsibility for our own children and ourselves. But what about the others? And so we thought that if we can just create a foundation, it might be a good idea. And it'll give us an opportunity to serve, because it was a model which we had seen, but those models are huge. Ford Foundation, Rockefeller, and Vanderbilt, and huge. But even to have the idea like that, and that was, I said, come on, get to work. I said, all right, all we wanted is, Papa, when we don't have wealth, we can create something. When we have wealth, then to take out anything from your pockets and do for others, not very possible. So he said, nothing doing, get to work. Then we became 400 people, from 40 to 100 to 400. He came back and he said, I like that idea of Chandaria Foundation, because he himself also wanted to do something for others. So he came back and said, I like the idea of Chandaria Foundation. I'll give 10% of our company to Chandaria Foundation, create one. And so we created one. And we started with one scholarship. It was very small. The point is that how you shape the ideology of the people within the family, within the community, within the people who are working for you. That yes, I'm doing everything for me, but at the same time I'm seeing that your family is also coming up, and we are supporting your family. But not only that, I don't know somebody completely, a third party, and he needs help. When I do that, that means I have now done good for me, I'm doing good for my family, I'm doing good for people who work for me, but besides that, now I'm doing good for the society. And that's how the whole philosophy came up. And with Chandaria Foundation, some other families also decided, hey, it's a good idea. Keeping the money, doing nothing about it, not being useful to others, only useful to yourself. It might be a good idea to do it. And so many of them followed us, but not as many, but few followed us. And to me, I thought that that ideology of wealth is something which when you use for good and which you can use for bad. Mm-hmm. You can live a life and don't worry about others. Or you live a life, good life, and worry of others. So that started the whole ball rolling. And then my brother became a Rotarian, so it helped in sense that, look, serving, though he didn't have a stand at that particular time, we had not Chandaria Foundation done. It was only after that that we did the Chandaria Foundation, but all were agreeable that there is a responsibility, and this ideology of accepting the responsibility of others, it's a very difficult task. But I think that somehow my family was, I would say, lucky that they accepted the ideology and said, yes, we should.
Wonderful. Yeah. And that's a really, really inspiring story, Dr. Manu. When you're gone from this world, how do you want to be remembered?
Well, legacy would be that there was a man who did good. There was a man who held the hands of the people in the worst time, in the most difficult time. There was a man who wanted to help to remove pain. And that's it. I don't want to be remembered that I was an industrialist. That's okay, that'll come with it. But I would like to be remembered that people take example and Q, that money is to earn and to live and to enjoy is oneself. Is everybody does it. But the money that you earn and enjoy and together make the life of others better, very few of them can think. Because money is a very sticky thing. And once you've created a foundation, you have a compulsion. Every year, you've got to do something about it. It gets its own money, and so you do something good about it. Then it becomes automatically, if one of the family members doesn't want to do, but then if 3-4 years you don't do anything about the foundation, the government will ask, hey, guys, you have made this foundation, you're saving tax. So I think that's it's a great idea, great potential, and great possibility to shape.
Okay. Final question for you, Dr. Manu, would be, you obviously have a big family. How do you pass that message on to your children, your grandchildren, about service above self?
Well, I think that the way that you propagate is be an example. If I become an example, my children look at me. My daughter was the grandmother of that little kid, saw me. My son saw me. And I carried them with me. For every function that was the Rotary, which was public, where we went for serve, I took them with me. And I'm sure they must be feeling what these guys are doing. But shaped slowly, that these people are extending their hands. Why? It's our money. Obviously, I'm not going to take the money with me. But they were shaped in the sense that when they saw their elders, their parents, their grandparents doing good, it emphasized on them that, hey, there's something in this which is good, and let's push it. And I think that the family today is just the ideology that we started with is now in every little person in the family, that yes, they have a responsibility of the society and they have to serve above themselves.
Wonderful.
Yeah. And I'm glad that all of them are that way.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Manu. We have everything we need. Thank you.